Yeah, hi there, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT, your online TOEFL course, and you completed my pronunciation post-test, and you're also one of my students in the English language program here at California State University, San Bernardino. So, you are reading 3 specific passages, and then you are also answering 3 questions. So let's get started.
When 2 people are talking to each other, they tend to stand specific distance apart.
Okay, not bad. You're getting off to a good start. You're reading fairly quickly, not pausing too much. You had a little bit of trouble at the end there, but so far so good.
Each person has an invisible boundary around her body into which other people may not come. If someone passes this boundary, he will feel uncomfortable and move away to increase the distance between them.
Good.
The major exception is family members and other loved ones.
Nice pause.
This personal distance is not due to the body odor or bad breath, but because closeness lends a sense of intimacy that is at odds with the relationship to the other individual.
Now you had some problems with pausing at the end there, but let's read this one together, okay? When 2 people are talking to each other, they tend to stand a specific distance apart. Each person has an invisible boundary around his or her body into which other people may not come. If someone pierces this boundary, she or he will feel uncomfortable and move away to increase the distance between them. The major exception is family members and other loved ones. This personal distance is not due to body odor or bad breath, but because closeness lends a sense of intimacy that is at odds with the relationship to the other individual.
Interestingly, the average person distance varies from the culture to culture.
Okay.
Americans tend to require more personal space than in other cultures.
All right.
Therefore, if you try to get too close to an American during your conversation, he or she will feel that you are in his face and will try to back away.
All right.
Try to be aware.
And this word here is not try, but will try to back away.
Of this. So, if the person to whom you are speaking back away a little, don't try to close the gap.
So you want to say backs away a little. All right, let's read this one more time and read it with me a few times more until you feel more comfortable. Interestingly, the average personal distance varies from culture to culture. Americans tend to require more personal space than in other cultures. Therefore, if you try to get too close to an American during your conversation, he or she will feel that you're in his face and will try to back away. Try to be aware of this. So if the person to whom you're speaking backs away a little, don't try to close the gap. All right, let's go to the next one.
Also, try to avoid physical contact while you are speaking, since this may also lead to discomfort.
Okay.
Touching is a bit too intimate for casual acquaintances.
Not bad. So this one word here, casual. Casual acquaintances. Casual.
So, don't put your arm around her shoulder. Don't touch her face, or hold her hand. Shaking hands when you initially meet or part is acceptable, but this is only momentary.
Now, when you get near the end, sometimes you have more trouble with your pausing. So let's read this one more time. Also, try to avoid physical contact while you're speaking, since this may also lead to discomfort. Touching is a bit too intimate for casual acquaintances, so don't put your arm around his or her shoulder. Don't touch his or her face or hold his or her hand. Shaking hands when you initially meet or part is acceptable, but this is only momentary. So now you're answering the 3 questions.
My best friend is Sammy. This person is important to me.
I would say my best friend is Sammy, who is important to me. That way you don't have those 2 short sentences and you're demonstrating a little bit more advanced grammar there. That would be my recommendation there. Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about or how to use who, go to the grammar part of my course, study the lesson titled Adjective Clauses.
Because he always supported me when away from home.
Okay.
He's always taking care of my children, yes.
Yeah, so you also want to work on what's called sentence variety. You have a tendency to use short, simple sentences one after the other. So go to the grammar section of my course, go to the lesson, it's called Grammar Lesson number 26, and that'll give you some tips on how you can create different kinds of sentence styles when you speak and write.
I see myself in the same place, work in the same company. Now I think I'm going to be in high position.
Okay.
Because right now I am taking courses, and then when I go back to my company, I expect to be promoted to high position.
All right. Now, you had some trouble with future. You might say, in 5 years, I will have been promoted to a higher position in my company. So you had a chance here to use either future or future perfect tenses, but you didn't really do that. So I'm gathering that you have some weaknesses with your verb tenses. So if you need to, if you have your grammar book, you can go to your grammar book and study verb tenses, particularly using the future and the future perfect.
My favorite season of the year is summer. Thank you.
All right. So the one thing I like about your speaking is you definitely are speaking fairly quickly without too many unnecessary pauses, so that's a good thing. But I noticed when you're answering these 3 questions here, you didn't give a lot of specific detail in each area. Now, either I have to make some assumptions here. I'm assuming because you didn't really fully develop your ideas that you probably have some weaknesses with both your vocabulary and your grammar. Am I right? So, of course, you probably want to improve in that area a little bit more. The grammar part of my online course will definitely help you, so keep working there. You can also improve your vocabulary by going to vocabulary lesson number 3. This is the first section of my online TOEFL course, so that's a great start, learning the words in vocabulary lesson number 3. Now, the next question is, what is your intelligibility score now based on that particular post-test? So your lowest possible score here is 1.1. The highest you can get as a native speaker, which is 7.0 out of 7. So right now, I'm going to put you at about 2.8. 2.8 out of 7. So what that means is I can understand most of what you're saying, but you have a very limited vocabulary. You don't really develop your ideas, and you do have some pronunciation issues. Now, what does that mean for our class? So let's go into the syllabus. Okay, if you go to page 3 of the syllabus, so you scored 2.8, that's going to put you at about 74% on this particular post-test, this will be the grade I put into in-grade. Now, the final thing is, based on your pronunciation issues, what are some things you can do to improve? And I definitely have some suggestions here. So here's the pronunciation area of my course. So my first suggestion here is to take a look at Speak Clearly lesson number 16, the word, the je, like casual or measure. I think you need to work on that consonant a little bit more. So you can study pronunciation lesson number 16. Now also in the pronunciation area of my course, I'd recommend, for the most part, you are pronouncing your grammatical word endings, which is pretty good. You're doing a pretty good job with your word stress. I'd like to see you make some improvements with sentence rhythm and intonation. So I think in order to speak more clearly, you have to improve, and I recommend that you study lesson number 33, 34, and 35. This helps you with your sentence rhythm, the combination of stressed and unstressed words in the language, and then also study Speak Clearly or pronunciation lesson number 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. And then I think also thought groups and blending 41, 42, 43, and 44. So the bottom line is, if you continue to improve your grammar and your vocabulary, and if you can continue to improve your sentence rhythm, intonation, thought groups, and blending, you will be able to improve your speaking abilities of American English. All right? Anyway, thank you very much for completing the assignment, and keep up the good work.